Last night, Madison Bumgarner pitched 8 scoreless innings and allowed only 3 hits while striking out 5 to pick up his first major league win. Tonight, Giants ace Tim Lincecum makes his final start before the All-Star game, and the Giants go for 3 in a row against the Milwaukee Brewers. Coming up next. Another day here at Miller Park as we come to you from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Game 3 of this 4-game series, Giants and Brewers. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwayne Kuiper. Alongside me is Mike Krukow. Giants have won the first 2 games in this 4-game series, and tonight they got their ace. That's right, they got Tim Lincecum on the hill.
Well, the Giants have been hoping that Tim Lincecum gets more consistent with his stuff and certainly with his fastball command. If that happens, then everything will sort of fall into place. Interesting is that he'll take the ball tonight against a team that he really hasn't had great lifetime success with. 1-2 lifetime with a 5.67 ERA against these Brewers. So if you're going to get well, do it against somebody who's giving you troubles. That way you get 2 loads of confidence. All right, Giants looking for 3 in a row, and they're 3-3 on this road trip. All right, stay tuned for an update from the Comcast Sportsnet studios in beautiful downtown San Francisco right after this.
Giants Baseball is brought to you by AT&T. Find out what's possible with the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T. Rethink possible. And by Toyota. Say yes to amazing deals on your favorite Toyotas. See your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota. Yes.
Roof is closed here at Miller Park as we get ready for the Giants and the Brewers. Our game time weather is brought to you by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. The admission-free boardwalk is open daily. Inside, it's 73 degrees. Winds outside at 13 miles per hour. Humidity at 84%. And the forecast, well, we got a 90% chance of a shower and wind gusting at 5 to 10 miles per hour. But it doesn't matter. Let's take a look at the Giants lineup brought to you by Southwest Airlines. It'll be Torres, Sanchez, and back in the lineup, Aubrey Huff. Since June 10th, 23 RBIs, and that ranks second most in the National League. Burrell, the cleanup hitter, then Posey, followed by Sandoval, Renteria, Whiteside, and Lincecum.
Defensively for the Milwaukee Brewers, they'll have Braun, Edmonds, and Hart at your outfield. Jim Edmonds in center tonight. Counsell, McGee on the left side of the infield, Weeks and Fielder on the right side. LaCroix will be behind the plate tonight doing the catching, and the guy on the hill will be Chris Narveson. We'll take a look at his numbers. 92 hits and 83 and a third. This will be his 14th start. Narveson, a 28-year-old left-hander, 6'3", 205-pounder out of Wilmington, North Carolina. And look at the home runs allowed. 10 home runs and 83 and a third.
Here's Torres. He will lead things off. Hitting at 276. First pitch of the ball game is on its way, and it is a strike.
Big crossover step from Narveson.
The 0-1 pitch, and Torres hits a high drive to left. Braun back, looking up, out of here. 1-0 Giants.
Well, what do you say we make it our Dodge Ram drive of the game? I say that's a pretty good way to start the game, partner. High fastball from Narveson, and Andres Torres with that big old 35-inch, 33-ounce bat just throws some barrel head on it, and it jumped out of here.
Here's Sanchez, who looks at a strike.
How about that? Our Dodge Ram drive of the game, 2 pitches into the game.
Sanchez hits a high pop-up. It's Counsell being chased off by Braun. 1 out.
Well, right now, what do you say we take a look at our Toyota keys to the game? And from Narveson, say, don't be afraid to see a few pitches. The power of getting into a bullpen deep and getting into a bullpen early is, well, that's the remedy for success. Check out number 2, out defense the Brewers. That's right. Giants have to play clean ball fundamentally, and you have to control the gaps in this ballpark. And 3, how about the pen to get hot? It's time.
Here's Aubrey Huff, who looks at a pitch down low. The other thing about Narveson is with this lineup, as Huff pops it up, this should be playable for Braun or McGee, and McGee thought Braun was coming and it dropped. So you got to out defense the Brewers. I think McGee a little ticked off because he really looked like he was underneath it.
Now, this is an embarrassing play for, especially when you consider a team that has really kind of beat themselves with their glove the last 2 nights. And something spooked him. Whether he heard something or he saw something or the beer guy was right there, I'm not sure.
Well, for Aubrey Huff, he hammers one to right. This baby's way back. Out of here. Back with another shot, Aubrey Huff, and he makes it 2-0.
Boy, you give him a second life the way he is right now, and you're really asking for trouble. But right now, Chris Narveson up against the ropes, and he is not getting the ball down, and until he does, he's going to be vulnerable.
Here's Burrell. Burrell hitting .304. He's got 5 home runs, 11 driven in.
Well, he picks up right where he left off. A day off yesterday. Still swinging a hot bat. Did you ever worry about taking days off when you're hot?
Yeah, absolutely. It's like you think you're missing something as Burrell bounces this one into left field for a base hit.
Say that you got to get the ball down, especially in this ballpark. It's not a good place to be a fly ball pitcher. That ball right at the belt, and as hot as he has been and given a second life, jumps all over it. Home run number 16, RBI number 50. And how about that for a first half?
Buster Posey hitting .308, 3 home runs, 13 driven in. And he hits a drive to left. This baby is way back. Out of here. 3 in the first inning.
Wow. And if you're looking at the pitches, they're almost identical. Narveson cannot get the ball down, and the Giants are killing him.
This is back-to-back.
High fastball again above the belt. Elevate on contact. And for Buster Posey, home run number 4. And this one had some carry to it.
Home run, pop-up, home run, single, home run.
Wow, free the hostages. Well, you don't normally see a smile on the starting pitcher's face, but Tim Lincecum's got to be digging this.
Yeah, he would like to hit in this first inning.
Well, the way things are going, he might. And we haven't seen a breaking ball from Narveson. It's been fastballs and just one changeup.
Sandoval looks at a breaking ball, and it's 0-1.
And finally a curveball, and I think Rick Peterson had to come out there and tell him to start throwing them.
Sandoval fouls it off the backstop. It's 0-2, and another breaking ball. There are some people that are still in the parking lot trying to get into this game, and they're going to walk in to see a deficit. And Sandoval asks for time. (40-3), 3 or more runs. Sandoval on the ground, foul. And another breaking ball. Torres hits his 5th, Huff his 16th, Posey his 4th.
Well, if you're not able to get a fastball down, and especially in this ballpark because it's so offensive, it's one of the most offensive yards in all of baseball. You do not want to make mistakes up here. It's just this place is unforgiving. That's why you got to throw the pitches that can get you down around the knees. Hence, throw some breaking balls.
Very high to Sandoval, 1-2. The point was made to us by some of the people around here that have watched Narveson pitch that he can give up runs in the first inning. Sandoval again dribbles it foul. Well, indeed he has. Sandoval 1 for 8 in the series. Trying to get on for Edgar Renteria. Tomahawks this one into the upper deck behind home plate. Led off with a home run against the Dodgers last year. This is the second time. Into left center field. It'll hang up for Edmonds. 2 outs. And here's Renteria. Renteria last night took an 0 for 4. He's 0 for 5 in the series. Fouls this one back. It looked like Renteria had enough of just trying to poke at the ball. He took a good hard swing.
Well, Andrew Baggersley of the San Jose Mercury News asked him after the game last night, "You think he's got anything left?" And he said, "Absolutely, I think I do. If I didn't, I'd go home."
Well, I also think that it's a question where that's the answer you have to give. If you give, "No, I don't,"
you're done. But
I mean, I knew when I was done, and if somebody would have asked me, "You got any left?" I would have said, "Absolutely." Otherwise, what's the manager going to do? 2-2.
when did you really know you were done?
Well, you start suspecting that things are not quite easy as they used to be, but about the time you go into the locker room, clubhouse, and you look and hope your name's not in the lineup.
Well, I say that's a pretty good indicator. I think a lot of old ball players can nod their head at that analysis.
Yeah, Ken Maka does not look pleased. Renteria digs one out and fouls it out of play. I'm sure he's unhappy with the fact that there was a pop-up that should have been caught, allowed Aubrey Huff another swing.
That's exactly what he's unhappy with. But I think he's unhappy about the lack of adjustment with Narveson throwing so many high fastballs that were getting torched. He wasn't throwing any breaking balls till he was told.
And Renteria out swinging. Giants hit 3 home runs here in the first inning. Torres, and then Huff, and then Posey. And it's bye-bye baby 3 times. 4-0 Giants. I mentioned earlier there are some folks still in the parking lot. This is a live shot of Brewer fans trying to get into the game.
Let her in.
Oh, come on. Giants jump out in front 4-0. Let's take a look at the Brewers lineup brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Weeks in the leadoff spot, followed by Corey Hart and then Ryan Braun. Good numbers for Braun against Lincecum. Prince Fielder, the cleanup hitter. McGee, Edmonds, followed by Lucroy, Counsell, and Narveson.
Defensively, the Giants are going to have Burrell, Torres, and Huff. That's your outfield. Renteria, Sandoval on the left side of the infield. Sanchez and Posey on the right side. Eli Whiteside will do the catching, and Tim Lincecum on the hill. A lifetime record against these Brewers, 1-2 with a 5.67 ERA.
First pitch bounces, and it's 1 ball and no strikes.
Just a little low. Good velocity though, 94. And you look at the numbers for Tim Lincecum, and they're great numbers. 121 strikeouts, 109 innings, against 46 walks, just 97 hits. I mean, those are great numbers. There's not a guy in the league who would want those numbers, and yet he's not happy with them. He says, I can be better, I can improve. And you know, he hasn't. I mean, that's not an act. I mean, his expectations are high, obviously. And a lot of it has to do with his ability to command the fastball. It has been something that has been elusive to the feel of his throwing hand all year long.
And Weeks just took a swing at ball 4. It's 3-2.
For him to be successful, he has to have strike one, like a lot of pitchers. That's no new formula for success. But he needs to be able to locate his specialty pitches down, knee high, or below. That's where they're most effective. The split, the curveball.
And he got him with the changeup.
And that's exactly where he needs to be.
And it's hard to recognize this is not something other than a fastball.
And we always talk about how you have to sell that pitch and watch the motion. I mean, you're convinced when you see the motion that he is coming at you with a fastball. And kinesiologists have studied the arm speed of a changeup to a fastball, and they've proven that a changeup actually has more arm speed than a fastball if you throw it right.
Corey Hart takes a strike. The all-star Corey Hart, 2 for 9 in the series. He's 4 for 15 lifetime against Lincecum with the home run. Hart pulls up, no swing, 2 balls and 1 strike. On the ground to Renteria, and Renteria goes to Posey. 2 outs. And that'll bring up Ryan Braun. Well, Braun's been in a funk. He knows it. Everybody knows it. But he does have some ownage on Lincecum, so Braun's probably figuring, kind of like the Giants did against Ubaldo Jimenez, if you're going to get out of this, do it against the best. And the Giants, of course, had lost 5 in a row when they went to face Ubaldo Jimenez. Didn't strap an L on Jimenez, but they did beat the Rockies the game he started.
Well, they slapped 7 earned runs on him, and that's something not many people have done this year or ever to him. But Braun's, you know, you can tell by his body language leaving the batting cage in batting practice, he's not happy with his swing. And this was really what we felt one of the best swings in all of baseball the last couple of years. Going to the All-Star game for the 3rd consecutive time tells you what the league thinks about his abilities.
Now it's 1-2.
Brian Knight will give the low strike, and he'll give it on both sides of the plate. That is something he'll be very consistent with.
And this gets away from Eli Whiteside, and Braun is going to reach.
Well, the good news is the split's working. Bad news is it's working a little too good. This thing really hit way out in front of Whiteside. And I think it hit the back end of the plate. And when it hits an edge of the plate, there's zero predictability to the bounce. There's not much that he could have done with that one.
Here's Fielder. 262, 18 home runs, 36 RBIs. And he takes a fastball high.
normally see that a lot with Lincecum. When he first gets into the stretch position for the first time in a game, he often will miss high. Reason for he's a little too quick out of the stretch.
This one will drift out of play.
And that was a changeup that was high. When you get in the stretch, you're a little quick. You just don't quite have your arm out front and in proper position. You'll drag it a bit, and you'll always miss high with it.
Hit on the ground, Sanchez from the cut of the grass, and that'll end the inning. After 1, Giants 4, Brewers nothing. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwight Kuiper. Alongside me is Mike Rucco. We are in the great state of Wisconsin. We're at Miller Park here in Milwaukee.
Have brunch with the G-Men tomorrow at 11 on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area.
August 9th is Jerry Garcia Tribute Night at AT&T Park. And in honor of the special occasion, we have brought back the popular co-branded Giants Grateful Dead t-shirt and cap. The Giants are offering this special package by phone mail order for $40. That's a $7 savings. Individual items are currently on sale exclusively at any Giants Dugout store location. Call 1-877-5-GIANTS and order yours today.
Here's Eli Whiteside. I will tell you, it is one of our favorite pieces of merchandise.
I'm telling you, I wear that hat all over the league, and I get compliments or inquiries about it every time I put it on.
Whiteside skies one out into center field. Edmonds drifts back, and Edmonds will make the catch. Giants Baseball is brought to you by Salt in theaters July 23rd. Here's Lincecum, who's 3 for 35 on the season. He got all 3 hits in one game.
Well, he got him against the Dodgers, so that's okay. If you're going to get only 3 hits, do it against them.
He does have 6 sacrifice bunts. And he takes a strike. The Nationals are leading the Padres 5-2. That game is in the 5th inning. And the lefty for the Brewers deals, and Lincecum hits one on the ground to Prince Fielder. Lincecum retired. And here's Andres Torres. This led off the game.
Well, it got everybody in the Giants dugout really going. A high fastball by Chris Narveson. And it was not the first high fastball that left the yard that inning.
You think the ball carries better with the roof closed? I think it does.
Oh, definitely. When they close those windows back, all the wind just completely stopped. During batting practice today, they had the windows open behind center field. Those screens slide back, and as soon as they open it up, you could feel the wind come in the ballpark.
They had some rain here this afternoon that was fabulous to watch.
Oh, that was fun. Lightning, thunder, a good old-fashioned Midwestern rainstorm.
So you guys didn't get that in Pasadena?
No, we didn't. But I mean, first time I saw rain in the Midwest, I kept waiting for the animals to pair up. I'd never seen stuff like that.
One-two to Torres. It's in the dirt. 2-2.
It's the kind of rain where you could go from the hotel to the taxi cab. And I mean, it could be a 50-foot walk.
It was coming inside, and they were having a hard time.
I mean, it was howling. And that 50-foot walk to the cab, you'd be completely soaked.
No, the last time the Giants hit 3 home runs in the first inning, it was at County Stadium, and it was Bonds, Kent, and Burks. Oh, how about those 3?
Yeah, that's a good 3 right there. I'll go to battle with those guys.
On the ground, that's a fair ball. McGee's got it. His throw is perfect, and that will end the inning. A 1-2-3 inning. We will head to the bottom of the second. Giants 4, Brewers nothing. Casey McGee, Jim Edmonds, Jonathan Lucroy facing Tim Lincecum, who's got a couple of strikeouts. And McGee goes around, and it's quickly no balls and 1 strike.
That was really a nice play that Casey McGee made to end the inning.
Very. Made it look easy. Fastball, 0-2.
That's the one you say to yourself, oh, I want that one again. McGee, a good fastball hitter.
Got him.
Well, I'm telling you right now, he looks crisp tonight, folks.
What was that pitch?
That was a split. The changeup he has. Well, Giants baseball is brought to you by Round Table Pizza, celebrating summer with their delicious barbecue chicken pizza, premium grilled chicken, smoky bacon, and a tangy barbecue drizzle. It's barbecue taste that, well, it's a special taste, and there's a special summer price. Call Round Table today and get that price. Check it out.
Jim Edmonds hitting .268. Edmonds is 2 for 10 against Lincecum.
That was the strikeout pitch to McGee. And that's an at-bat, a 1-2-3 see you that you'll talk to yourself a little bit about. Again, look at the 94-mile-an-hour velocity, but more importantly, the movement. That thing started off in the inside corner, and with his two-seam grip came right back across the plate. It faded back in the zone.
And it's 3-0 nod to Edmonds. Lincecum fell behind in the first inning to Ricky Weeks, and he came back and got him, and that's a 4-pitch walk, and I think everybody thought that was a strike, including Jim Edmonds.
Yeah, that's one Brian Knight missed. All right, let's take a look. Where was it? I mean, you know, when you're on the mound, it's weird because you throw a pitch like that, you expect to be complimented by the strike call from the umpire, and when you don't get it, it's weird. It's upset your rhythm. Those are the umpires tonight. Jerry Davis at first base. He's the crew chief. Sam Holbrook and Greg Gibson. This is not a bad crew at all.
Here's Jonathan Lucroy.
Ball is coming out of Lincecum's hand tonight beautifully. And if there was a wish on a wish list that I would hope for the second half of the season, it would be more strike one consistency with Lincecum. And those pitches are strikes if you're a high ball umpire, and Brian Knight is not. He's a low ball umpire. You'll see a lot of low knee highs get called. And right now Lincecum needs to get back down to the knees. You won't get the belt highs with Knight. And I like that. That's a good call. Throw another pitch. Get a guy to have a different release with another pitch. Oftentimes it will enable him to get that fastball release so he can control it down around the knees.
Two balls and a strike. Make it 3-1.
Craig Counsell on deck.
Edmonds walked. And a strike to make it 3-2.
Well, if that was going to get called a ball, you might have seen Bruce Bochy rupture a vein in his forehead from yelling at Brian Knight. That was right down the dish.
Back-to-back walks here in the second. Here's Counsell. Counsell hitting .254.
And I got to believe he didn't get a lot of sleep last night. It was his error that really was the big play in last night's ball game that allowed the Giants to have a 5-run inning, which was the difference in the game.
Yeah, I don't know if Ken Maka had any thoughts about playing Counsell today because of that error, but if he did, then I applaud him. Get a guy back out there right away. That way he doesn't have to sit on a bad game. Lincecum falls behind 1-0. Two balls and no strikes, and Eli Whiteside's going to have a word. Escobar on Monday on a Freddie Sanchez ground ball kicked it. It allowed a run to score, and then last night Sandoval and Counsell threw it out into right field, and he had to wear it. 2 balls and 1 strike, so whatever Eli Whiteside said worked a little bit.
I think he said slow it down.
Right at Burrow, 2 outs.
I mean, sometimes, you know, you get a guy in a stretch position, you're always worried about being quick. In that situation with a pitcher on deck, that's a time where you can just not worry about it. You could be deliberate. You could be 1.45, 1.5 seconds. You need to make location pitches and get the ball down, throw strikes. And I think that was the wisdom that Eli Whiteside shared with Lincecum, because it worked.
Here's Narveson, who's a pretty good hitter. He's 7 for 23. And he throws a nice easy 92 to get a strike. Two.
You know, when you say to a pitcher slow it down, one of the easiest ways to slow your motion down is to slow your hands down when you start your motion. And it's a great tip for coaches and managers at the amateur level. You see your kids who are really having a problem being quick, just tell them to start things slower with their hands.
One and 2 to Narveson. Edmonds at second, LaCroix at first. 4-0 Giants. Burrell will watch this one sail out of play. If you just turned on the TV, the Giants hit 3 home runs in the first inning. Look at this one. I did it.
Yeah, that was a couple of woohoos right there. Woohoo! Fun at the yard.
Got him to end the inning. Lincecum with 4 strikeouts. He's got 2 walks both this inning, and it stays 4-0 Giants.
4-0 Giants as we are heading to the top of the 3rd inning. Time now for Subway Eat Fresh. Ask Kruk and Kai. Visit csnbayarea.com and you can ask us a question. We're going to answer one a game. This one comes from Chris from San Francisco. And Chris asks, I heard Kai call a Giants hit a duck snort. What in the world is that?
Chris, you don't know what a duck snort is? Well, it's probably made more famous by Hawk Harrelson, the longtime TV broadcaster for the Chicago White Sox. It's just a bloop. It's a little bloop out in the left, center, or right field, and it's a duck snort.
Yeah, the actual duck reference is not really suitable for TV, and
yeah,
and the Hawk cleaned it up so you could use it. It's duck snort. So hey, nice going, Hawk.
And you know, 40 years ago, it was a Texas leaguer. Sanchez takes a pitch low and away. Sanchez popped out in the first inning. Two balls and no strikes. I mentioned earlier, if you just tuned us in, 3 home runs in the first inning. Torres, Huff, and Posey. Sanchez with a line drive into right field, a base hit, and that's a good sign right there.
You bet. That swing of his built to go the other way. And when you get lefties that have a natural cut to their fastball like Narveson, you don't want to try and pull that pitch because you're going to get jammed. If you stay inside and go the other way, that's the swing you use to beat that pitch.
That's a good swing. Here's Huff. Huff hit his 16th in the first. He hit a pop-up down the left field line that McGee was about ready to catch. He backed away from it thinking that Braun was going to catch it. It fell in foul territory. And then on the next pitch he hit out of the park.
This is the one that dropped. Look at the beer guy on the left of your screen. That's the guy that caused it. That's all we can deduct.
So we'll go with 2-1 to Huff. Pat Burrell on deck.
Get too close to a case of beer, it can be a distraction. Speaking from experience.
Narveson chases Sanchez back.
Well, given second life, this is what Huff did on the next pitch. A high fastball at the belt, and that really was the undoing of Narveson in the first inning. 3 high fastballs that all left the yard.
Tops this one, and Weeks' only play will be at first as Sanchez slides into second base. Here's Pat Burrell. Huff takes a breaking ball for a strike. Make that Burrell. Huff just bounced out. Giants 4 runs on 5 hits. Posey to follow, facing Chris Narveson, the young left-hander, making his 14th start. Giants are 10-12 against left-handed starters. I thought it might be a little worse than that, but a couple of games under 500. 0-2 now to Burrell. And Burrell takes a fastball in tight. Giants will face another lefty tomorrow, Manny Parra. And then the Brewers will throw another lefty on Friday when the Giants are out of town. That'll be Doug Davis.
Yeah, they get 4 lefties in their rotation.
Coming into town, the Pittsburgh Pirates.
They just got a bad bit of news, this Brewers club, in regards to Giovanni Gallardo. Their ace got put on the disabled list with an injury he sustained in Sunday's game in St. Louis.
See, Jake Peavy went down. And the 2-2 offering to Burrell is high, 3-2. So we've seen Burrell do this a lot. 0-2 to 3-2.
Well, it's refreshing to see a hitter work a pitcher.
Sanchez at second base, 1 out. And he got him.
3-2 breaking ball, a good one. Very quick curve. Buster Posey, his last at bat in the first inning, became the third Giant to go deep. We're going to make it our Ford Wright choice for Buster home run number 4, and it was no cheapie. A majestic home run.
His 4th of the year. And he takes a pitch high, 1 ball and no strikes. .51 pitches for Narveson. One ball and 1 strike to Posey. Out of play. Giants are now 3-3 on this road trip. They started out by losing the first 2 in Denver. (18-23) on the road, and good numbers against the National League Central. They're 17-7. Posey way out in front, dribbles this one to third. It's going to be a tough play. McGee's got it. He throws, not in time. As Posey beat it out. Big old catcher can run a little bit when he's sniffing out a hit.
Sniffing it out. Just a swing and bunt. And McGee, great fundamentals. Just don't get a lot of time, even with a guy who doesn't have great speed. It's amazing how much faster a guy can be when you sniff it out a hit. Trying to stay out of a double play would score a run.
And after taking one off the knee yesterday in the first inning. Sandoval hit a fly ball into center field in the first. He's 0 for 1. Big chopper foul to McGee, and it's no balls and 1 strike. And the souvenir. Sanchez at third, Posey at first, and another chopper foul, same spot. And they call him the big guy with the long reach with the glove. Sandoval back in the box. He's behind in the count, 0-2. And he went around. And they're going to tag out Sanchez. The out was made by Sandoval, so it didn't matter. Anything happened after that because the home plate umpire had called Sandoval out. 4-0 Giants. Well, luxury suites at AT&T Park are the premier choice for client entertainment, family events, or any special occasion. A limited number of these suites are available to rent on a per-game basis, including our upcoming series against the Mets and the Cubs. For more information or to reserve your suite, call Giants Sales Executive at 415-972-2298. Here's Weeks. First pitch driven into center field. Torres spinning around, looking up, gone. He got a fastball and he hit it out to straightaway center field, and it's a 4-1 game.
Give you an idea of the type of power this guy has. Home run number 15 on the year, just knee high out over the plate, and he takes on the deep part of the yard. If you hit him out to center field here, you got to earn him. That was a loud contact swing of the bat.
Home run number 15 and up. A line drive into left field off the bat of Corey Hart. So the second time around for Lincecum, he has been greeted with a home run and a line drive single. And here's Braun.
Just kind of a first pitch, get it in, split, and Corey Hart's sitting all over it. Good mistake hitter. That was a mistake. But it looks to me like they're starting to think, get on that first pitch, don't go deep in the count against Lincecum. And that tells you that they are impressed by his stuff tonight. They're all trying to beat him early. Usually that's usually what that means.
Braun takes a pitch low. He struck out in the first, but he did reach on a wild pitch as the ball got away from Whiteside. Braun high and foul down the right field line. It's 1 ball and 1 strike.
It's good location with that fastball right there, knee high outside corner.
Fielder to follow. The home run by Weeks was the first hit in the game for the Brewers, and then Hart followed it up with a base hit to left. In the dirt, 1-2.
Cannot lay off that split. I just don't think he's seeing it out of Lincecum's hand. But this is a guy who has, as you pointed out, Kai, he's had great success against Lincecum, but tonight he's not picking it up. Tells you about a lot about where he's at right now with his swing.
Well, I believe you said the same thing in regards to Madison Bumgarner yesterday with Braun at the plate.
Yep.
And he got him.
Well, a great idea. Good call from Eli Whiteside. If a guy's not seeing it, go right back down there again. I mean, if your guy's swinging at this, don't throw anything else. Strikeout number 4 for Lincecum. Strikeout number 5 for Lincecum. And 2 of them have been against Ryan Braun.
Fielder bounced out to Sanchez in the first.
Not many curveballs tonight from Lincecum. In fact, it's been all fastballs and splits.
Get out to left field. It's got some carry, and it's going to be off the wall, and a ground rule double.
Pitches up a high fastball, and you get an idea of the power that Fielder has. Short arms, really strong enough to keep that top hand above the high fastball and backspin it out as that one hops and goes over the wall. And that's a break.
Well, it is a break because Lincecum needs a strikeout. He's a strikeout guy. He knows how to get strikeouts. And McGee struck out in the second. On the ground to Sandoval. Sandoval is going to come home. A late choice, and they got him. Almost a mistake by Sandoval.
Well, we're going to make it our time for Home Depot doing more on defense. There was a little hesitation there as he initially thought first base, and then he saw the play in front of him, and he changed his mind. And the throw had to be perfect. I think it just went to the side of the arm. Eli Whiteside right there to catch the ball and put the tag on as he really blocked the plate out. But boy, this could have easily hit Corey Hart and been, you know, a step to disaster. Home Depot, more saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
Here's Edmonds, who walked in the second. Check swing, foul.
And as always, he can blow a bubble in the middle of a play. He and Will Clark.
Boy, if you're a base runner, man, you start taking on those shin guards. That hurts.
Yeah.
Nice block. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Started to go, but held up. No swing. 2 balls and a strike to Jim Edmonds. Lincecum looking into Eli Whiteside. Now they're both ready. And the strike. It's 2-2. Kind of waited a little bit for Brian Knight to make that call.
Yeah, he had to think about it. Umpire does that. I think as a pitcher, you're not convinced he's going to call it a strike if you go back out there again.
Got him, and that'll end the inning. The home run is the only damage. 4-1 Giants. Our trivia question is brought to you by AT&T. Rethink possible. Who was the younger at the time of their first career win, Kane or Bumgarner? Here's Edgar Renteria. As we are doing this game, the roof is now parting.
Yeah, they're moving back to the windows, sliding open, and the roof is opening.
That's great. Here's the 1-0 to Renteria. 2 balls and no strikes.
The roof has a sensor in it. If there's a lot of wind up there, and the wind can affect these things, they can actually get underneath it. They can lift it up. And if that happens, it stops. Then they have to reset it and then let it get going again. But
well, clearly this could have never been built on the site where Candlestick is.
no, I don't think you could have had a retractable roof there.
Three and one on the no swing. 3-1 to Renteria. There's Jerry Davis down the first base line. Eli Whiteside on deck. Renteria with a base hit up the middle, and that'll make him feel a lot better.
That's what he needs. He needs at bats like that to get his confidence back. Well, the latest edition of the Legends series featuring the soon-to-be Hall of Famer Jerry Rice will air Friday at 8 o'clock. You'll see right here in Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. You'll see exclusive interviews with Eddie DeBartolo, Joe Montana, George Seifert, Roger Craig, Ronnie Lott, and many more. Watch on July 9th for a chance to win a signed Jerry Rice jersey.
Whiteside hit a fly ball to center field. He's 0 for 1. Lincecum comes out to the on-deck circle. 4th inning. Two balls and no strikes. Chris Narveson with 63 pitches.
Remember when Joel Youngblood was in a slump, kind of like what Edgar Renteria is going through right now. And he was really grinding. He couldn't buy a hit. I mean, he couldn't even buy a good swing. And then finally had that bat just like Edgar, right back up the middle, crisp, great shot, loud line drive. Ran at first base, went back to the bag, breathed a big sigh of relief, took his lead, and got picked off.
By the way, the new third base coach for the Arizona Diamondbacks, Joel Youngblood.
Good for Joel.
Which means it's good for us because we get a chance to see him.
Yeah, good baseball people. I mean, you're not supposed to laugh at your teammate when he goes through has something bad happen like that, but I got to tell you what, that was funny. That there's funny.
Well, Narveson wants it too low. 3 balls and 1 strike. Well, Youngblood was also the perfect audience for us because he would bite onto just about everything. Hit and run, a bouncy ball up the middle and a base hit. Renteria is going to put on the brakes. Is Edmonds, the mere fact that he came in hard really kept Renteria from thinking about going to third.
Nice at bat, Eli Whiteside, and a nice reactive play by Jim Edmonds. You see him crashing hard, anticipating a chance to possibly get Renteria should he try and challenge him to third base. Jim Edmonds is 40 years old, just turned 40, but he still has a good arm and a very accurate arm. Not an easy guy to run against. This whole Brewers outfield has plus arms.
Lincecum will be asked to bunt. He's normally pretty good at that. Pulls the bat back and he's ahead in the count, 1-0. Top of the order on deck and Andres Torres. 4-1 Giants. Giants trying to add on. In this ballpark, you got to do it. LaCroix's going to go out and have a talk with Narveson. Got home last night just in time to watch a little baseball on MLB TV. And I watched the St. Louis Cardinals. Beautiful. It's a 9-2 lead on the Colorado Rockies. Fabulous. 12-9 is your final. Rockies win.
Wow. They scored 9 in the 9th.
How do you do that?
Jim Tracy, the skipper for the Rockies, said, I have never seen anything remotely even close to that. And the winning blow was a 3-run home run by Seth Smith.
There's the bunt. Foul. In one way, it was not nice, but it was watching something like that happen to another team other than the Giants in that place. Council's jockeying his former double play partner Edgar Renteria back to second.
Don't think they're not chirping at each other.
Lincecum fouls this one. It was Council scored the winning run in the '97 World Series, and it was the base hit off the bat of Edgar Renteria that knocked him in. Sure, that's something that those two, I mean, that's a memory of a lifetime. Lincecum pulls it back, 2-2. Counsell then went on to win another World Series ring with the Arizona Diamondbacks.
And had a lot to do with that series. He's just one of those guys that always seems to be in the right place at the right time, making the big play at the right time. It's just the type of career he's had.
Lincecum with a good bunt. And Lincecum is going to be safe at first. He almost didn't finish the play.
Well, he's going to have to get over that habit. You need to go hard, at least harder than that. You can't go down there in a half jog. I mean, it worked out in favor of the Giants, but maybe this is a lesson that they'll learn. I mean, I know it's hot out there, but you can go a little bit harder than that.
Well, you know what you're thinking, Mike. I did my job. I did my job. I did my job. I did my job. Uh-oh.
You can see the look on his face. I guarantee this will change because of this. And these are the things. I mean, you have to still remember he's still a young player. That could have been an out easily. Whereas it shouldn't even have been close. So the Giants catch a break there.
There's a strike to Andres Torres.
But those are things you learn. I mean, there are days when it's really hot. I mean, it's muggy out there, but it's not excessively hot.
Yeah, Iverson wanted to know where it was, and I guess I do too. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Brian Knight is pretty stingy on that side of the plate. You can see where LaCroix catches this ball. Doesn't have to really move much.
One and 2. If you're Torres, get the job done. Don't leave it up to the guy behind you. Shallow center field. Edmonds coming in. Edmonds is going to make the running catch. And then you'll flip it home. Nice play.
Still covers a lot of ground for a guy that's 40. Kind of reminds you of Steve Finley in that regard. Guys that, you know, such great shape throughout their whole career, prolong their careers because of their conditioning. And you look at him moving the outfield, he just doesn't look like a 40-year-old man.
Sanchez singled in the 3rd. He popped out in the 1st. RBI opportunity with the bases loaded. And a little breaking ball to steal a strike. No balls and 1 strike.
Tim Evans is not showing Freddie Sanchez any respect, playing very shallow in center field. That's 10 steps closer to home plate than what he normally would play.
Down the right field line, and Corey Hart is not going to get it, and we're going to run for a while. Renteria, Whiteside, here comes Lincecum. He's going to score, and Sanchez clears the bases with a triple. Corey Hart was within a foot of making a terrific catch.
Now, the second time in this game that Freddie Sanchez has really driven the ball well the opposite way. And Corey Hart putting a gamble on trying to help his pitcher get out of the jam, and instead the gamble backs up and works against him. So the Giants with a chance to even put a bigger crooked number up there. Pretty good effort.
That was close. Here's Aubrey Huff with the infield in. One road trip the Giants had, they went to Pittsburgh and Cincinnati, and Freddie Sanchez was at the plate with the bases loaded almost every game, and he hit the ball hard every time. And in most cases he came up empty, and this time it was very close to being the same deal, but it shot by Corey Hart.
And his lifetime numbers with the bases loaded are fantastic.
They are. If you're Aubrey Huff, you're an RBI guy, this is an opportunity you don't want to let pass. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Jonathan LaCroix wore that one a little bit. Chris Capuano going to start getting loose for the Brewers.
Three and one. 380. How about that? Remember the play that Lastings Millage made to end that Saturday night game?
That was
Freddie Sanchez.
Play.
And the walk to Aubrey Huff.
Well, we were watching Capuano out there warming up, and he was just kind of taking his time doing it. But I got to believe that the rope is getting real short with Narveson. And that type of walk right there, it just adds to the rally. It keeps it rolling. Remember Roger Mason? One time we were down by 5 runs. Somebody hit a 3-run homer. And he goes, "Oh, it's a rally killing homer," and we all looked at him like, "What?" But you know, I can see his point. Think through it, and it's like, you know, now all of a sudden you got the bags clear, nobody on, but.
Well, I mean, that's like a 2-run deficit in the 9th, and your team leads the inning off with a home run. You're almost better off with a leadoff walk in a lot of ways.
Put that guy in his stretch. Put some bad thoughts in his head. Rick Peterson, the pitching coach for the Brewers, out stalled. Give Capuano a little more time. He should be just about ready to go. I would have to expect it. If Pat Burrell does not, if he gets on base here, I think it's the last we're going to see at Narveson.
Burrell singled and scored in the first, struck out looking. He took a 3-2 breaking ball in the third. Low again, 2-0. Day game tomorrow, Barry Zito. In the dirt, and Sanchez is going to hold at third, but Huff moves down to second.
Maka trying to figure it out.
Infield in. And the walk. And here comes Buster Posey.
And here comes Kenny Maka.
Short night for Chris Narveson. He will depart here in the 4th. When it's time for a change, think Speedy. Oil change tune-up, your oil change tune-up and smog experts. 7-1 Giants. Giants with 4 in the first, 3 here in the 4th. And now they'll be facing Chris Capuano.
Now you see the numbers for Capuano. Fastball, changeup, curveball, and his changeup really is the best pitch. And his changeup's got a little cut to it, which is kind of unusual.
Pitched on Monday, pitched the 9th inning. Gave up a hit and a walk, but no runs. He threw 19 pitches.
Capuano out of Springfield, Massachusetts. 31 years old, 6'2", 224-pounder. Graduated Phi Beta Kappa from Duke with a degree in economics. So you can't outthink him out there.
Well, if you send one of our broadcasters to speak with Chris, it'd have to be Dave.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Dave's got 2 master's degrees, one from Stanford, one from Syracuse. Oh, yeah.
Buster Posey, a home run and an infield hit. And here he's at the plate with the bases loaded. And the pitch is high. 1 ball and no strikes. Swing and a miss.
He wasn't swinging for a little throw to right field single. That swing had some greed behind it.
19. Check that, in 2005, Capuano was 18-12 with the Brewers. In 35 starts. High and deep to right field. Back is hard. Out of here. A grand slam for Buster Posey, and it's 11-1.
Well, he is not going to want to leave Milwaukee. A 2 home run night for Buster Posey, a 6 RBI night, and this is the 4th inning. He has 5 big league home runs. 3 of them have gone the opposite way. Wow.
Here's Sandoval. I mean, I don't have the heart to tell Buster Posey that at AT&T Park, maybe it's over the outfielder's head. But I'm not going to tell him that.
Yeah. Let's keep that to ourselves.
Down the lines, very live here in this ballpark. Sandoval down the line, but that'll be out of play.
Well, let's watch the swing from Buster Posey. Big high leg kick. And you can see how much of a backside throw he gets because of that momentum. He plants in a good position and that stay inside the ball swing launches another pearl the opposite way and out of here.
That was not just over the fence. I mean, he hit it a good ways over the fence.
Well, look at the veterans looking at him.
Yeah, they're shaking their head like, killing me, kid.
Yeah, that'll put a smile on everybody's face.
And Sandoval lines a single in the left field. I guarantee you Aubrey Huff said something inappropriate to Posey. I mean, you know, like dugout inappropriate.
Yeah.
Six RBIs tonight, 2 home runs, 3 hits, and we're in the 4th inning. This is maze-like in Milwaukee.
I'm enjoying it.
Here's Renteria.
What they say, broadcasters dig the long ball. The Giants have absolutely flexed their muscles tonight. We're not used to that. I could get used to that.
What, the long ball?
Yeah.
We were used to it for a long time.
Yeah, like 15 years. The Barry Bonds era. There you see the babies, Posey and Bumgarner.
Foul past Tim Flannery.
It was great to get to the ballpark today and listen to some of the talk around the batting cage of the Milwaukee Brewers about Madison Bumgarner. They were quite impressed. Three hits in 8 innings, no earned runs, and 2 of the hits really shouldn't have been hits.
Renteria takes low. Bullet foul. Watch out, Tim Flannery. The only out in this inning, Andres Torres popped out to Jim Edmonds. It started out with Renteria, Whiteside both singling. Lincecum reached on an error by the pitcher, a bad throw to first on a bunt, then the out. Sanchez then tripled with the bases loaded. Huff walked, Burrell walked to load the bases, and Buster Posey hits a grand slam, and then Sandoval singles. Out of play again.
Well, a night he'll remember. His first grand slam, his first 2 home run in one game night.
And a base hit to left field for Renteria.
Boy, the line drives are loud and they are contagious tonight. It's a 6-hit inning. And there's nobody out in that bullpen.
3 for 3. He goes from 308 to 325. Plus his RBI totals go from 13 to 19. Whiteside got a base hit this inning. And he takes low and in. 1 ball and no strikes. This is where if you're an infielder or an outfielder, you have to concentrate. You have to stay in the game. It's easy for your mind to start to wander a little bit. That foul ball is out of play. Four in the first, 7 here in the fourth. Remember, the Giants had that 7-run inning on Saturday against Ubaldo Jimenez in Colorado. Whiteside fouls it back. 1-2. Buster Posey, first at bat last night. Randy Wolf hit him right in the left knee.
Said he was a little sore today.
Yeah, talking to Dave Greshner, the Giants trainer, they said it was touch and go whether he was going to stay in the game or not the first couple of innings. Whiteside pops this one back. That'll be a souvenir. Lucroy couldn't find it. Now he does. This was the pitch last night that hit Posey.
It was consensus across the board of the Giants dugout that they did not think it was intentional.
Remember, there was some history last year and in spring training with Prince Fielder. Whiteside bounces it foul. More work for our young lady down the left field line. That's an old softball toss right there.
She's a player. I bet you she can hit too.
1-2 with Lincecum on deck. Popped out behind second base. More work for Edmonds. Edmonds chases off Weeks. 2 outs. And here's Lincecum. Lincecum reached on an error in the 4th inning. Laid down a good bunt, and Narveson threw it high and wide to Ricky Weeks. All part of this 7-run 4th inning. I know what Rick Rusher would do here.
Yeah, you're right, Big Daddy. He would not swing.
Lincecum scored from first on the Sanchez triple.
It was always really more a day game when it was really hot in the Midwest. Russell had a 10-run lead in the 5th inning in a Sunday game in St. Louis. It was literally, no exaggeration, 140 degrees on the field. He would not swing. He didn't want to be on the base pass. It would take too much out of his body.
I saw him do it at Candlestick. And he didn't do it all the time, but he would pick his spots.
And he was a good hitter, good athlete all around. One of the best athletes I ever played with.
2-2 to Lincecum. And it's a bit high. Say this for home plate umpire Brian Knight. If there was ever a time where you might think about expanding the strike zone a little bit with the pitcher up, he's not doing it. Runners will go 3-2. And Lincecum takes strike 3 call to end the inning. Giants score 7 times, 2 big hits. Sanchez triple with the bases loaded. Buster Posey a home run with the bases loaded. And it's bye-bye, baby. 11-1 Giants.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the San Francisco Giants and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of San Francisco Baseball Associates, LP.
All right, time now to ask and answer our trivia question brought to you by AT&T Rethink Possible. The question of the night, who was younger at the time of their first career win? Was it Kane or was it Bumgarner? Our survey said, well, Matt Cain by 1 day. And that's your AT&T quiz.
How about that? Did you know that?
I did not. I knew that Mark Grant was the guy who had he was the youngest.
That's a fair ball, and Sandoval gets to show off his arm, and it's a good one. Think he had fun doing that?
Yeah, I do. He has fun doing a lot of physically challenging things. He looked like a pitcher winding up. That was a seed. Well, I mean, he looked down the line. He knew how much time he had. And that's the beauty about being the guy who plays third base is you have a little more time. If you have a cannon, you can have fun with it.
You got a better chance of making a perfect throw doing that than if you got all the time in the world. Counsell lined out to left field in the second. Lincecum with 56 pitches. Out to Freddie Sanchez, who will put it away. 2 outs. So Capuano is going to come out of the ball game. Is this Joe Inglet?
It is. Kid out of Sacramento. Had a real nice at bat last night. Took a ball down the line, left field. And a base hit.
Making Lincecum wait right now. He's coming in with 2 outs. And he'll go after that first pitch, and he fouls it. He did it last night, too.
That was right in on the hands on the inside corner.
Inglet's got 59 at bats. And I think he had to get some lumber. This little guy ended up catching that foul ball. Off the end of the bat, foul. It's 1-2. Ricky Weeks is on deck. It's 11-1. Giants here in the 4th inning. And Inglet out swinging to end the inning. 7 strikeouts for Lincecum. 11-1 Gigantes.
Well, Friday, July 16th will be a 7:15 start against the New York Mets. You can come on out early. Why? Well, there's going to be a special pregame ceremony as we send John Miller, our Hall of Fame award-winning broadcaster, off to Cooperstown to receive the 2010 Ford C. Frick Award. And, oh yeah, stick around, because after the game, there's going to be a fireworks show presented by Chipotle. To purchase tickets, go to sfgiants.com. And remember, with dynamic pricing, buy early and save. And remember, come on out early as we honor our old pal, the Big Kahuna.
There's John and Dave over on the KNBR side, which is literally right next to us. Carlos Villanueva is the new pitcher, and he'll be going after Andres Torres, who will bat first here in the 5th. 11-1 Giants.
The numbers for Villanueva, been a workhorse. Number 40 in game appearances, 42 innings, 54 strikeouts. Good stuff. Got a fastball, curveball, and a circle change.
Inglet stays in the game. He's in left field.
Villanueva originally a Giants product, signed with San Francisco back in 2002 and came over to Milwaukee back in 2004 in the Wayne Franklin Leo Estrella trade.
There's Inglet in left. Sanchez to follow. Get fouled on the right field line. That got in a bit on Torres.
Villanueva still just a kid by baseball standards. 4-year veteran. He's 26 years old. It tells you that he had good stuff, came up early, took advantage of the opportunity, and his whole big league career has been with the Brewers.
On the ground towards the hole, and Weeks will throw to Villanueva, and they got him. It'll go 4-1 on the putout.
He's played by Ricky Weeks, and he looked like Torres had a chance to be safe on this particular call. And looking at the replay, Jerry Davis, the crew chief, looks to me like he got it right.
Yeah, they did get it right. So here's Sanchez, very close. Sanchez is 2 for 3. He's got 3 RBIs. He cleared the bases with a triple in the 4th. Aubrey Huff is on deck. When the last time Lincecum pitched with a 10-run lead?
Well, I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know if he ever has. Normally you say, okay, I'll take my chances with Lincecum in a 10-run lead.
Yeah.
But they said the same thing last night in Colorado when the Cardinals had a 7-run lead in the 9th inning. In the 9th inning.
9-2 in the 9th.
And they wound up losing 12-9.
1-2 to Sanchez. Sanchez goes the other way. Corey Hart will put it away. 2 outs. That's the 3rd straight at bat that Sanchez is going to right field.
I think that's the way he heals himself. If he goes into a bit of a funk and he's coming out of one, he heals himself with right field. A lot of guys do that, especially bat control guys. Of which he is one of.
Aubrey Huff homered in the 1st, bounced out in the 3rd, walked and scored in the 4th. First pitch, curveball, and he jumps out in front of Aubrey Huff. 0-1.
You know, these are innings that if you're used to pitching late in the ball game in tight situations and you get a 10-run game where your team is losing, it's basically a get some work in outing. They could be dangerous to your ERA.
Yep. Lincecum is allowed a home run to Ricky Weeks, and that's it. Was in trouble after that, but pitched out of a jam in that 3rd inning. Huff on the ground, backhanded by Fielder, and he will flip it on to the pitcher coverage. So a 1-2-3 inning here in the 5th. Lincecum will come out the 11-1 Giants. Well, join us tomorrow. We got more Giants baseball from Milwaukee right here on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. We'll be on the air at 11. Barry Zito against Manny Parra. Check it out. Final game of the series as Ricky Weeks takes a strike. Weeks, as I mentioned just a half inning ago, hit the home run in the 3rd off of Lincecum. And he takes that fast, or check that changeup high. 1 ball and 1 strike. Two and 1. In tight, 3-1. Weeks has got that little bit of a waggle, and when he gets it going, he generates a lot of power. A little bit of the Gary Sheffield waggle with the bat.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Or if he's a little late on that one, it's 3-2.
We're talking about it in last night's ball game. This guy's batting practice is entertaining. And it's just not one after one over the left field wall. He goes out everywhere. His numbers are just not the numbers that you would normally see a leadoff hitter have.
Lincecum wins that round. It's always kind of fun to watch Lincecum face a guy after he hits a home run off of him.
It's almost always the same result. Strikes him out. A 3-2 fastball right through the swing of Ricky Weeks. And for Ricky Weeks, this is strikeout number 96 on the year. You can see a little bit of what the hitter sees hitting against Lincecum.
Don't the Brewers have one guy that's always going to be close to the 180 mark in strikeouts?
Yeah, they're usually in the 3, 4, 5, 6 slot. You know, a leadoff guy. That's too many strikeouts.
Hart pops this one up. Shallow right field. Can Huff get there? Oh, you bet. The best athlete on the field puts it away.
But one thing about Ricky Weeks, I mean, his on-base percentage is still outstanding. It's right around 370, despite the 96 strikeouts. So he does take walks. He's got 39 on the year, but 14 home runs and 15 home runs and 51 RBIs. Those are numbers you see down the lineup, not at the top of the lineup.
Here's Carlos Gomez pinch hitting for Villanueva, and he looks at a strike. Swing and a miss, 0-2. On the ground to Buster Posey, and that will end the inning. Through 5 innings, 11-1 Giants.
Welcome back to the Coors Light 6th inning. Now it's time for the Coors Light Freeze Cam. We go to a sacrifice bunt that Tim Lincecum laid down back in that 4th inning. He did not run hard, and there was a wide throw, and he just did beat Ricky Weeks back to the bag. And when he was walking back to the bag, look at the face. Ooh. I need to run those out. And yes, you do, my friend. And that is your Coors Light Freeze Cam, brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
Todd Coffey is the new pitcher, and he'll be facing Burrell and then Posey. And the numbers for Coffey.
Todd Coffey, 34th time he's come into a game, 2-2. He's got a big, hard sinker. He'll run it up there low to mid-90s and a slider, basically a 2-pitch guy, but he is a ground ball throwing machine. But his slider's a good one. That tells you, you know, it's 21 strikeouts in 30 innings. It tells you he can get the ground ball and the strikeout, which has elevated him to a lofty position in that bullpen. Tonight, just getting some work.
So Coffey facing Pat Burrell. Got some good news?
Yeah.
Nationals 7. Padres 6. And that's a final.
That is good news.
You want some more good news?
Yeah.
Cardinals 5. Rockies nothing. Well, that really doesn't mean much, does it?
Not anymore.
Now, that game is in the 5th. The 1-1 to Burrell, and Burrell takes it under his hands. 2 balls and 1 strike. Burrell hits one off the end of the bat right out to England. 1 out. Buster Posey's got 2 home runs tonight. And the first one went like this. That knocked in Pat Burrell. And then in the 4th, this knocked in 4 runs.
Second night in a row he's gone out to right field. It has been a 3 home run series for Buster Posey.
Rick Parker, last Giants rookie to knock in 6 runs, came in 1990 in Atlanta. Giants won that game 23-8.
Rick Parker?
I remember doing that game with Hank Greenwald, Ron Fairley. Will Clark had 6 RBIs in that game. And I remember thinking, 23 runs? Let's see. Those years I was in uniform with the Giants, 82, 83, 84. Don't remember even totaling up 23 against the Braves.
Yeah, season series. And they were in our division. Yeah, the Will Clark era was a golden era. A lot of fun.
Big chopper towards the hole and in and out of the glove of Counsell. Posey's aboard. Got to be a hit.
That makes it a 4-hit night for Posey if they do indeed award him a hit. But right now we're going to remind you that Bloomberg Sports, the leader in data analysis, has developed an analytical product being used by baseball clubs. And there's also a product for fans. Improve your fantasy player, track your favorite players and teams. All you have to do is go to BloombergSports.com for details.
Sandoval picked up a hit in the 4th inning. He's 1 for 3. Indeed, a hit for Posey, who's now 4 for 4. Out of play. $11 runs on 13 hits for the Giants.
Good hard back foot slider by Coffey, who knows he has an aggressive hitter, and he just took advantage of it. Throw that thing down at his back foot, and a lot of lefties will swing right over the top of it.
This guy's got good stuff.
He does have good stuff. Went right back down there again.
Renteria on deck. 6th inning here at Miller Park. A couple of innings ago, they opened up the roof. Two and two.
It's really different when they open up the roof. There is no air conditioning in the main stadium. And when they close that roof up, if it's 85 degrees outside, it goes to well above 95 very quickly. So when they open it back up, everybody in this ballpark just breathed a huge sigh of relief.
Sandoval, sharp ground ball into right field. It's a 2-hit night for Sandoval, bringing Edgar Renteria to the plate. $14 hits for the Giants.
Well, this is kind of what they've been waiting for offensively. You know, you go through a whole period of time where you struggle to score runs like they have been the last couple weeks, and now all of a sudden you break out, and these guys are thinking that they're due these hits.
Here's Renteria. A couple of hits for Renteria. This gets away from LaCroix. Both runners will advance. It has not been a real pretty game. All right, let me just be a little bit more specific. It has not been a real pretty series for the Milwaukee Brewers.
Well, they have to feel like they beat themselves the first 2 games. And here, a ball in the dirt. LaCroix cannot keep it in front of him. It's going to be a wild pitch. And for Coffey, that's significant because 1 out. If you get the runner at first base because of his sink, he can get out of this inning quickly with a ground ball. Now he just lost that edge.
So the Brewers will play the infield back. 1 ball and no strikes to Renteria. And a line drive up the middle for a base hit. And they will hold Sandoval. Coming in to score is Posey. Renteria with 3 hits.
And this has to feel extremely good to Edgar Renteria, who has found his stroke tonight. You know, and maybe it was Andrew Baggersley, the writer with the San Jose Mercury News, that asked him last night, have you got anything left, Edgar? Maybe that's what ticked him off, because he has showed up tonight with a great swing, with good bat speed, and he has used the middle of the field like he has his whole career.
Big chopper foul. Oh, and 1 to Eli Whiteside. Whiteside's got a hit in 3 at bats, and he swings and misses, nothing in 2. I think this is what you're talking about, Mike. If you're Coffey, where you're in this blowout game, and if you're not careful, your ERA can get blown out.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. A lot of these guys who are used to pitching the 8th and 9th innings, you know, they really require adrenaline. And in this game, there just isn't any. And you know what happens? You just don't have the same focus.
Well, it's not that they're not trying.
No. Rick Peterson, the pitching coach for the Brewers, not enjoying this one.
Whiteside flips it into left field. That'll be a base hit. And of course, now if you're the Brewers, you're watching everything the Giants hit fall in, whether it's hit hard or not.
Well, that was not a bad pitch either from Coffey.
That was not.
Ball slider down and away, and watch Whiteside just protect and poke. Hooks it, gets himself a knock and an RBI. It's a 2-hit night for Eli Whiteside. The bottom 4 spots, the 5, 6, 7, and the 8, before you get to the pitcher, of course. But those 4 spots tonight have just been unbelievable with the bats.
Lincecum swings and misses. No balls and 1 strike.
Posey 4 hits. Sandoval 2 hits. Renteria 3 hits. Whiteside 2 hits.
Anybody taking the donut?
No.
High to Lincecum. 1 ball and 1 strike. At some point, you'll start seeing Bruce Bochy get some of the veteran guys off the field. Although he doesn't have a big bench to play with. Remember, the Giants are going with 13 pitchers. 2-1 to Lincecum. Barry Zito tomorrow. You know what he's thinking?
Save some for me.
Save a few. Foul back, 2-2.
Well, you do think that way, especially when your club isn't the type of club that has a reputation of being an offense that scores double digits every night.
Lincecum just foul.
Oh yeah, pick it clean.
Good range.
Uh-oh, big brother just jerked little brother's sheets right there. And the little guy not happy, but
what?
the big brother says, take a look.
That was great. He shared. He handed it right over.
She almost stepped on her glove.
That would not be good. Here you go. Watch. Yeah, I got it. Woohoo! He handed it right over, and now they're passing it around.
They're good kids. Nice, polite young men.
Lincecum out looking. And that'll bring up Andres Torres. I think those are Twinkies. I think one's a little older than the other.
Yeah, they look a lot alike. I think the one is older, though.
Here's Torres. 1 for 4, a home run to lead off the ball game. Be the 26th pitch from Coffey. And a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Sanchez on deck. 2 runs in for the Giants. And that's hit into the seats. Andres Torres did this, the first hitter of the game.
Well, you kind of had the feeling it was going to be a pretty good night after you watched this.
I kept going back to the times that it's happened at AT&T Park when the visiting team leads the game off with a home run, and you always say what?
It's bad luck to lead off with a home run.
And then I realized that it didn't apply in Wisconsin.
No, that is the one state. It's a good thing.
Yeah. See, I don't forget those things. Look out. And the boy, it sounded like it just nicked Torres, but it didn't. 2-2. (13-1). In the dirt. 3-2.
Well, I mean, you're going to have a couple of these a year. But you really know the slump's over is when you have one of these games. I mean, think about how hard it was to score a run when the Giants had lost 7 games in a row. You didn't think a game like this was possible. And then when you start to turn things around, you know, wins, they come hard. Offense comes hard.
Runners go, hit well into left center field. Edmonds on the move, and this one is off the bottom of the wall. Renteria scores. Whiteside scores. And Coffey now is having one of those innings you talked about.
Yeah, he is. The reliable Todd Coffey right in the middle of a mess. But Andres Torres, there's his second hit of the night, and it almost gets out of here. See, Jim Edmonds just started digging. Hit about halfway up the wall. Joe England over there to cut it off, making a nice play on the carom.
And a strike to Sanchez. Sanchez 2 for 4. 17 hits for the Giants. 4 this inning. And for Ken Maka, who wanted to give Coffey some work, this may very well have eliminated Coffey from pitching tomorrow.
Cameron Lowe, the right-hander, starting to get loose now for Brewers. Sinker baller.
way outside. 2-1. Out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Cleared the bases with a triple in the 4th inning. As Corey Hart almost tracked it down.
Second, really nice approach. Really, he's hit the ball hard to right field 3 times, and he's got 2 hits with it. This was the second one, but a big one as it cleared the bags, and it was the big significant knock in the 4th inning when the Giants scored 7.
Sanchez out into right center field, and it's going to be the sliding Gomez who makes the catch to end the inning. Giants score 4 times. It's 15-1.
Giants baseball is brought to you by Farmers Insurance. To find your local Farmers agent, call 800-FARMERS today. By Xfinity, the next generation in home entertainment. Now available in the Bay Area and coming soon to the Central Valley. And by Verizon. Own the airwaves. The signal is yours. Verizon. Rule the air.
All right, here's our McDonald's game summary. It has been a great night of offense for the Giants. 17 hits, 15 runs, no errors for the Giants, 1 run, 3 hits, 1 error for the Brewers. Lincecum through 5, 8 strikeouts on 73 pitches. He's been fantastic. Posey, 4 for 4 night, his first grand slam, 2 home runs, 6 RBIs, and he has led the charge. And that is our McDonald's game summary as Tim Lincecum rifles in strike 1 to Prince Fielder to lead things off here in the bottom of the 6th.
And a soft line drive to Freddie Sanchez. All right. Did I miss the weenie races?
You asked for it, folks. Kite missed it. You did not. This is the weenie race. All-American. Chorizo trailing. Brats slipping into the 3rd spot. Italian sausage in the 2-hole, but tonight it's All-American. I think that's All-American.
It is tonight.
Could be Polish.
Here's McGee who takes the pitch inside. It's Polish.
It is Polish. How could I screw that up?
Hooked foul down the left field line.
Yeah, before the race, they stretch it out. I love the weenies.
They have personality, don't they?
Yeah, they have fun. Oh, yeah. Now that's All-American right there, getting his back scratched. And Chorizo leaning in.
One and 2 to McGee. And McGee and Lincecum battling right now. Inside, and that for Lincecum was pitch number 80. 8 strikeouts, 2 walks. He walked back-to-back hitters in the 2nd, Edmonds and LaCroix. This one is foul again. Sherrill's now in right. As you saw, Huff moves from right to left. There's Aubrey Huff. Got him. 93 to him above the hands.
Right above the hands. Perfect.
McGee putting on a pretty good fight.
Well, he was right on him a couple times.
Edmonds pulls the first pitch foul. He walked in the second, struck out looking in the third. $29,387 watching Edmonds swing and miss, and it's 1-2.
Good split. I mean, that really has been a pitch for him that has worked tonight. And he hasn't thrown a lot of curves. It's basically been the fastball and his changeup. You know, it's a split finger. He calls it his changeup, but it's just been on tonight. Good location. The location he needs to establish is down around the knees. He's pitched like an all-star tonight.
10 strikeouts as Edmonds goes down, swinging through the fastball. 7th inning coming up. Well, Tim Lincecum, bobblehead night is Saturday, July 17th, 6:05 start against the Mets. And those bobbleheads will go to the first 20,000 fans at the ballpark, presented by PG&E. So go to sfgiants.com for tickets, and remember, with dynamic pricing, buy early and save. Key note to this: first 20,000 fans, so get there early. Do not be shut out and not get the bobblehead. $15-1 Giants. That's right. 15-1.
New pitcher for the Brewers going to be Cameron Lowe, the 6'8" right-hander out of Cal State Northridge, a native of San Fernando Valley. It'll be the 7th time that he's come up, and he's done well for him. Sinker baller. Big sink. Slider and a curveball to go with that sink, but when he's right, you'll see a lot of ground balls.
Facing Aaron Rowan. Rowan hitting for Huff, and he pulls this one foul. Easy, easy.
Well, this couldn't be better for Bruce Bochy because he can rest some tired legs. So Aubrey Huff, who got a day off yesterday, gets a half day off today.
Strike to Rowan, 0-2. And Rowan skies this one out into right center field. Edmonds giving way to Gomez. 1 out.
Time now for our poll question. You can log on to csnbayarea.com to vote for exclusive video blogs and much more. Check out csnbayarea.com and to view the poll results. Watch Giants postgame live.
Here's Sherholtz, who will bat for the first time. And Sherholtz looks at a strike. Buster Posey on deck. On the ground to third, where McGee has it. 2 outs. And here's Buster Posey, who's sitting on a 4-for-4 night. Hey, we got a cornhead.
I've never seen a cornhead outside of Nebraska.
Oh.
What's your first clue we're in farm country?
Well, I mean, you cross the border, man, and you see a bunch of cornheads. Posey takes a strike. Oh. Swing, you're going to miss. 0-2. They got a good attitude here, Mike. They like their corn. They like their Packers.
They're Packers.
They like their Brewers, however, not so much when it's 15-1 in favor of the visiting team. They like their tailgating. We left the park last night 45 minutes after the game, and there were some folks still tailgating.
They were not going to leave. There were some out there today in the rain.
Posey chops it foul.
It's just a great tradition.
Grand slam by Posey in the 4th inning. Went to the opposite field.
A night of first for Buster Posey. First grand slam, first 2 home run in a game night. First 6 RBI night.
First 4-hit game as he rifles that one foul.
Well, it's pumped his numbers up. Hit 331, 5 home runs, 19 ribeyes. He could play.
Another roller foul.
I mean, these are the nights you have as a young player to where you really do believe that, you know, I belong here. And it also draws attention. The rest of the league's going to look at these numbers tomorrow in the paper. They're going to say, oh, who's this guy again? They take notice. And they take notice, and that's when they try to figure you out.
Pablo Sandoval flipped that foul ball over my sister's head.
Your sister Kathy in the orange shirt.
And the walk. Lowe started to depart.
A lot of her friends are Brewers fans, and they've been clapping for the Giants, but they said, please don't show us on TV. If our friends see us clapping for the Giants, they'll never speak to us again.
Kind of like the opera clap.
Yeah.
Sandoval has got a couple of hits. Ishikawa is now running for Posey. And Sandoval rolls it foul.
Uribe will not come in this ballgame. He's the only reserve left on the Giants team, but he's nursing a couple of dings, one of them in his hand. And he may need to get another off day tomorrow.
Edgar Renteria with 3 hits tonight. Show. I don't think I'm seeing things with him. Sandoval is starting to look a little bit more relaxed at home plate. And maybe with Bruce Bochy giving him the stop trying to take a lot of pitches speech. Starting to get to be a little bit more familiar with what he was last year as he goes down swinging to end the inning. All right. The Brewers are coming up in the bottom of the 7th, 15-1.
Inside the Comcast Sportsnet studios, I'm Jamie Sire. Coming up tonight on Sportsnet Central, the Raiders issue a statement on Jamarcus Russell's arrest, plus the latest on the Warriors and Kings rookies. Stay tuned. Sportsnet Central tonight, immediately following Giants postgame live.
Thanks, Jamie. Here in Milwaukee, it's a 15-1 lead for the Giants. I'd like to see Jamie with that corn right on her head.
Yeah, she would wear well.
Yeah. I think it might, just for a brief moment, add a little bit to the personality of Jamie Sire.
Good call. She could pull it off,
Yeah.
no question.
Jonathan Lucroy at the plate, and he takes a fastball inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Counsell to follow. A bit high, just above the belt. 2 balls and 1 strike. 88 pitches for Lincecum. Uribe. Check that. Renteria. 6-3 putout. Uribe in the dugout is here's Council. All right, some changes. Ishikawa's at first. That's an easy one. Rowan's in center. That's another easy one. Council takes low. Torres moves from center to left field. Council is 0 for 2. Skies it out to Aaron Rowan. 2 outs. And the hitter will be England. Lincecum allowed the home run to Weeks in the first. All 3 hits off of Lincecum came in that 3rd inning. Got some good news?
Yeah, I like good news.
Marlins are leading the Dodgers 4-0 in the 2nd inning.
Man, you have been full of good news
yeah.
tonight.
Happy guy here in the state of Wisconsin.
How was the farm today?
Farm was good. Had a good smell to it. Rain was in the air. Looked good. Lots of cabbage. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Really?
Cabbage, yeah.
Like green cabbage?
Would rather have corn, soybeans, wheat. Much more of a manly looking farm that way, but cabbage is okay. Through the legs of Whiteside, 2 balls and 1 strike. That's not to knock all the cabbage farmers around the country, but we were not on that farm raised as kids with cabbage on the farm.
Well, that's not bad. Those doesn't smell bad.
Cabbage is fine.
Now Brussels sprouts, that's a little different.
I think my dad would quit before he'd put Brussels sprouts in the ground.
Well, the farmer behind our house, he grows them, and we
Probably very happy.
Oh yeah, they're great. I love Brussels sprouts, but they could be a little gnarly in a night air if you're walking through a patch.
Well, try being raised next to a pig farm if you're worried about that. And a base hit for England on a line drive to left field.
England really has a nice opposite field approach. In this series, he's had a couple of knocks that way. It's a disciplined swing.
Here's Ricky Weeks.
I didn't think I could outdo you when it comes to bad smells on a farm.
I get 2 or 3 more left in the well.
I only had 1 layer of argument.
Weeks bounces this one to Ishikawa, and that'll end the inning. So a base hit by England, the 4th of the game. We'll head to the 8th inning. 15-1 Giants. 15-1 Giants. And because Mike, you were a former pitcher, you get the honors of doing this.
Now let's talk about the strikeouts from Tim Lincecum. It started the first hit of the game for the Brewers, and it was Ricky Weeks who stepped in there, and all of a sudden you knew that the split was established. He got Brian Braun's same pitch, then a swing through strikeout, and it was off to the races. Edmonds, see you later. England, see you later. And he got Casey McGee, again Edmonds, and they were all victimized by great stuff. And this is the night we've all kind of been waiting for with Tim Lincecum, to get him back on track with fastball command and the ability to keep that split down. He didn't throw, I don't know if he threw a curveball tonight.
He did. Renteria facing Trevor Hoffman. Looks like Lincecum is going to go back out. Or, I mean, the other thing too is Bruce Bochy did not have much of a bench tonight, so it may be that there isn't anybody else left to hit. Renteria takes low.
Guillermo Mota getting greased up. This is really great news for Giants fans. I mean, obviously because of the outpouring of offense, a 17-hit, 15-run night. These are the numbers for Trevor Hoffman, 27th appearance, inflated ERA. I mean, he was the closer, but he blew 5 saves with late home runs, and he now is the setup man. But the other reason Giants fans should be excited about tonight's ballgame is because Tim Lincecum has looked every bit the Tim Lincecum that we have seen the last couple of years. The All-Star Tim Lincecum, and I think he's going to take a whole ton of confidence into the All-Star game on Tuesday.
Renteria, a little pop-up out to Weeks. Should mention that the Mets are in town on July 18th. Genentech Strikeout Cancer Day at AT&T Park. The first 20,000 fans will receive a Giants K t-shirt. Go to sfgiants.com with dynamic pricing. Buy early and save. Here's Eli Whiteside with a bench of only 4 for Bruce Bochy. Ishikawa, Sherholtz, and Rowan are now in the game, meaning Uribe is the only extra guy left. Bruce Bochy does not want to use Juan Uribe, so Lincecum will hit for himself and then probably be taken out of the game. Whiteside, soft one hopper to Counsell. 2 outs.
Is it my imagination, or are there a lot of moths out there in the infield?
Moths?
Yeah, I mean, the center field camera, you look at Trevor Hoffman, and there's moths everywhere. Is that something that happens here in Wisconsin after a rain? Look at them.
Yeah, there's a few. Yeah.
Just checking.
Yeah. Down the left field line, a long run for Inglet, and it'll be out of play. Edmonds and Gomez flip-flop. Gomez is now in center field. We had the gnat problems in Cleveland from time to time.
That's the worst. I mean, they go in your mouth, up your nose, in your ears. It's awful.
Remember, it helped the Indians win a playoff game with Jabba Chamberlain on the mound?
Yeah. But those are trained moths.
Line drive, base hit for Lincecum. His first hit since that 3-hit game against the Dodgers earlier in the year.
Well, that means every guy that was in the starting lineup here tonight got a hit. Lincecum was the last one to join the party. Nice crisp line drive, and his slump has ended. The 15 runs scored tonight by the Giants are the most runs for San Francisco since 2007 when they did it against the Rockies.
I think that was the Freddie Lewis hit for the cycle game. Right into the Brewers dugout. Found an opening. In the dirt. Nice block by LaCroix. It's 2 balls and a strike. Giants really haven't spread the runs out. The first, the fourth, and the 6th, all big innings.
You know,
Tight 3-1.
Sorry, Kev. I just want to point out that this is a game where your brain gets a night off. You know, when you're a 2-1 ball game or a game where you're constantly trying to catch up, I mean, it's a grind mentally. A night like tonight, this is a day off mentally.
Another ugly finder.
Who'd he get?
Dale Swain. There's Randy Wolf.
Yeah, an ugly finder will definitely put a few smiles on a team, even if they're down by 14 in the 8th inning.
Outside, and the walk to Andres Torres. And Freddie Sanchez will hit.
596 career saves for Trevor Hoffman, who someday will be enshrined in Cooperstown. He has had a brilliant career. And he hit a little bump in the road here, but he has accepted the assignment of the setup man. John Axford is now the closer here in Milwaukee, a rookie. There's John Axford, and he is being mentored by Trevor Hoffman, and that's the kind of guy that Hoffman is. You talk to Bruce Bochy or Tim Flannery about Trevor Hoffman, they'll talk a while about him as to how good a teammate he is.
Sharply on one hop to McGee. Side retired. Bottom of the 8th coming up. 15-1 Giants.
Bottom of the 8th inning, 15-1 Giants. And a reminder to visit csnbayarea.com and vote for the 2010 All-Star Teacher. Check out the finalists' bios and video features. The winning teacher will receive $10,000 for his or her school. They need your help, so go check it out.
Miller Park with the roof open, and Guillermo Mota will replace Tim Lincecum.
Those are the numbers for Guillermo Mota. 36th time he's come in. That's a nice body of work the first half, and he's been very consistent. They had a nice season going for the Giants, as the Giants now are 4 days away from the All-Star break. And it has to be a huge sigh of relief for Tim Lincecum, because this is the groove that he's been looking for a while. And, you know, this is a game that he's going to take a lot of confidence out, and he's going to apply that next Tuesday when he's going to the All-Star game. And look at the smiles. And he doesn't usually show that much animation after a game. But, again, you have to believe that there's a relief that he feels because of his outing tonight.
Here's Escobar, who attacks the first pitch and fouls it back. Escobar facing Mota. Escobar is hitting for Trevor Hoffman. And he fouls another pitch back, and it's 0-2. And a base hit to right field as Escobar reached out and poked that one right between Sanchez and Ishikawa. And that'll bring up Carlos Gomez. Gomez came in as a pinch hitter in the 5th and bounced out to Ishikawa. Swing and a miss. No balls and 1 strike. Quick turnaround for the Giants tomorrow. It'll be a day game here in Milwaukee. Giants will then travel to the nation's capital and get set to play a night game Friday against the Nationals. Matt Cain against Steven Strasburg.
Strasburg, the first chance we get to see the super rookie. There's Matt Cain, who once was a super rookie.
Check swing, 1-2. Tomorrow's game will be on back in the Bay Area at 11. Giants pregame live on Friday will be at 3:30. So set you up for baseball tomorrow and Friday right here in Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. Gomez takes one low and away, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Then we head out to our nation's capital. Well, I really look forward to that trip. It can be a little rough in July. The last 3 days they've had 100-degree days, although we're supposed to get a bit of a break in the weather, which is good news. Still going to be the 90s. But it can get gnarly back there this time of year.
Gomez out and swinging.
There's a reason Congress takes a hike this time of year.
Too hot, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of hot there if you're a congressman or a congresswoman all year long, but this time of year, weather-wise, better to head back home. Go check on your constituents.
Here's Prince Fielder.
Ordered my books off of TV. Change your life forever. I'll be right back.